That is the boldest thing I've heard. Wow.
AFC South title and wins MVP.
Dude, I can't take you seriously.
Really?
502 games.
No way.
No way. I could have ran for 100 yards this touchdown.
I stopped listening halfway through because that's such a bad take.
What is going on, everybody?
Welcome back, everybody.
It is great to see you all today. I am here not at my usual spot because it is a blizzard in Tennessee. So I'm at another person's house. You may know them, but
you're still trapped there.
Episode. However, it don't matter that there's snow because we're here anyway for Neutral Zone Reaction. It's time for the playoff preview for the divisional round. I'm hyped. I'm sure Brady's very excited.
Oh, I can't wait. Except for like the teams that won mostly, but besides that, I'm really excited.
Yeah, I mean, we saw some crazy games wild card round. Before we even get directly into the matchups this week, tell me who had this stat line this weekend. 16 of 21, 274 yards, 3 touchdown passes, and no sacks.
CJ Stroud.
And
because Jordan Love had 272 yards.
Yeah,
Jordan Love was
exactly.
2 yards behind. I remember. I've seen enough. I've been on Instagram enough.
I could not believe that. It was absolutely absurd.
It's crazy.
And
the Bears
fan, we're
it sucks. We suck. We suck. We need to boot everything into the moon. Oh my god. Anyways, we're not talking about the Bears. They're long gone. What do we want to start with? What game? Should we talk about Dallas for a minute?
Sure. You can talk about Dallas for a sec. I've got our AFC background screen on right now, but sure, if you want to talk about Dallas for a minute.
Oh no, Stephen A's done enough. We'll start AFC.
Okay, let's start AFC.
CJ Stroud is ridiculous. D'Amico Ryans is fantastic. Joe Flacco is still old. That was my takeaway from that game. I mean, confirm what we kind of knew already.
Yeah, the Joe Flacco run was outstanding and such a fun time.
I loved it.
But the Texans, CJ Stroud looked like he belonged there, like he's been playing in the playoffs for the last 10 years. And their defense too shut down the Browns offense, which has been lighting up all season. Mm-hmm.
Amari Cooper played. They had everyone going that they normally have, minus their 4th and 5th string tackle. But they were lighting. They could not do anything after that second quarter. Yeah, shut down.
Here's the deal. Regardless of what happened in that first game, one of those big key stats for me was 0 sacks and how Myles Garrett was completely eliminated. That is something that I think is going to be completely different this week because the Ravens are one of the best teams in the league when it comes to mixing up their pass rushes and disguising and having the linebackers come in to blitz or having Kyle Hamilton or one of their corners even come in and blitz. And they haven't had to rely on one guy to produce pass rush this whole season. And they've had everyone doing it. They even got Jadeveon Clowney. He's in a good mood. He just got his $1 million bonus or whatever. So
yeah, really.
I think the 2 weeks between games is going to be a massive advantage for Baltimore here, more so than it might for another team, because the way that their pass rush is going to be able to have fresh legs and be hungry and be able to make as big an impact as they're going to, in my opinion, is a major advantage for me. What about some of your big time pregame takeaways?
So honestly, I think this is going to be a high-scoring game. I know the Ravens' defense has been great, but they're in that same part as the CJ Stroud shredded them. He doesn't back away in big games. In college against Georgia, he was phenomenal. Ohio State, he was phenomenal. For the most part, Ohio State. Michigan. He was on
Ohio State.
He was on Ohio State. He played big in the biggest games. He's played well as a Texan in the biggest games, winning it in. He balled out against the Colts, advanced against the Browns' top defense. He balled out. I don't think the Ravens are going to face him as much as some people might think. However, Lamar Jackson is fantastic, so I think the Ravens will win this game. But this doesn't feel like a blowout to me. This doesn't feel like CJ Stroud is going to shrivel down and score 10 points. The Ravens defense is good. So is the Browns defense. The Colts defense honestly was pretty good. CJ Stroud does not care. He will throw crossbody to his tight end 30 yards downfield. It does not matter.
Well,
He's fantastic, and he'll shred anyone.
For me, it's the fact that the Ravens' game plan here is going to be all about how can they make him feel like a rookie again. Because week 1, when they played, we've got a few regular season matchups this week. Week 1, the Ravens beat them 25-9, and they made C.J. Stroud throw the ball 44 times.
This was his first start, though.
I know it was his first start, but I think that Harbaugh and that Ravens defense, giving them 2 weeks to think of any possible way to dial up these pressures and disguise their coverages, I think they can make Stroud look like a rookie again for at least part of the game. I don't think he's going to have that domination that he had in the last couple of weeks. And I know you said you see a high-scoring game. I don't see that high scoring of a game here to this.
What do you think is going to happen? What's your score prediction?
I've got Ravens 30, Texans 16, and they might not get 30, but I don't see the Texans putting up fireworks like they did this week, even with how crazy Stroud went.
I don't know. I mean, the Texans just have so much momentum right now, and also you can't forget their defense is going crazy right now. Regardless of how great Lamar is, you can't ignore how great their defense is playing. Additionally,
the defense has been great, but you look at this game, you say I just don't think they get 2 pick sixes off Lamar. I think Lamar is less turnover prone.
But they beat the Browns by 30. Let's not act like they played a close game with the Browns. It was a blowout. I stopped watching. It was a playoff game, and they blew the doors off the Browns.
But a lot of that was because of the turnover margin. And I don't think the Ravens are going to allow even a gasp of air when it comes to like being loose with the ball.
I disagree. I think the Texans and C.J. Stroud are so much better than they were at the beginning of the season.
I agree, obviously. I just don't think
I think this is a close game.
Okay. What's your score prediction?
I think the Ravens win 31-24. And I think it's one of those like game-winning drive type of situations. I don't think this is like there's the 31-24 where it's like they're down by 14, then they score at the end, and then there's the game-winning drive where it's back and forth the whole game. I think it's that version. I think both C.J. Stroud and Lamar ball out. I just think the Ravens have more talent. Lamar is more better. Sure. Also, you got to remember the Ravens in the playoffs recently have been terrible. Lamar has not played great in the playoffs. They've looked shaky in the playoffs the last couple of years. And I'm not saying that's going to happen again, but I'm saying it's something to consider playing a juiced-up Texans team.
Fair enough. I think this is the Ravens' year personally, but
I mean,
we'll see if they can.
I'm rooting for them, but we'll see.
Next AFC game is one of our favorite playoff rematches: Bills Chiefs. I'm so
excited for this game.
I can't wait. It was our thumbnail today.
I know. I have no idea what to think of this game because on one hand, Josh Allen is a freight train with a rocket ship for an arm. And on the other hand, Mahomes in the playoffs is just unstoppable.
Yeah.
I mean, it's two heavyweights just colliding head on, and nobody knows what the outcome is going to be. It's going to be awesome.
Here's my opinion for this game. A lot of the reasons the Chiefs have won games this year, and they haven't won as many, is because of the impact that L'Jarius Sneed has had at corner. He's been shutting down guys. He's been locking up. However, I don't think that is going to have as big an impact on the Bills' success. The Bills have won, 6 or 7 games in a row now. Stephon Diggs
they've won 6 in a row.
Stephon Diggs hasn't had a 100-yard game since week 6 when they barely beat the Giants and were 3-3. The Bills have not needed to go to their number one guy to win games. He's had 7 receptions each of the last 2 games. Before that, it was 4 catches, 5 catches. You know, they are not going to need to be throwing the ball to him to win the game. And I don't think Snead's impact is going to be as big as it's been for a lot of these other Chiefs wins. Josh Allen as a runner has been absurd lately, totally outside of him slinging it through the air. I just don't see Mahomes having the weapons to keep up this year. But go ahead with your next point before I give a full prediction.
Well, really quick. So one thing that I thought about the Chiefs-Dolphins game is it looked like you see the score is 26-7. It looks like a blowout. And it's not that the Chiefs played so. I think it was more the Chiefs' defense and the offense because the Chiefs just had so many possessions that game. They only scored 2 touchdowns the whole game.
Yeah, I agree.
Dolphins' red zone defense was actually really good, and they were missing 6 starters. But just Tua couldn't do anything. The Dolphins from Florida could not do anything in that weather, and the Chiefs just dominated time of possession like there was no tomorrow.
The Dolphins
And
from Florida.
that's not going to happen against the Bills. You're not going to do that against
great.
Josh Allen and James Cook. I mean, should I give a score prediction now? Are we at that point?
If you want, I've got a little more to say, but you can give your score prediction.
All right, you go. You say your piece. You say your piece.
Okay, here's another thing. The Bills last game were missing 2 of their key stars on defense. Tyrell Dodson, been one of the highest PFF rated linebackers this year. He was out, and Rasul Douglas also had a pretty solid season as their other corner opposite Trey Day. They both were questionable last week and did not play. I think they'll both play this week. And another tidbit here is the fact that if Travis Kelce is going to be in his Taylor Swift era, I just don't think he's going to be in his AFC Championship era. And for those reasons, I don't think the Chiefs win this game in Buffalo. It is Mahomes' first road playoff game. I think the Bills are going to take this one. I've got them winning 27-24. I have a lot more reasons to think the Bills will win this game, but nevertheless, I still think it's going to be one of those super close games anyway.
Yeah, I agree pretty much. I think it's going to be a slugfest. I have the Bills 20-17. I think it's a little lower scoring just because both defenses have been playing so well. The weather's not going to be good. The Chiefs don't have – I mean –
When's
I
the
think it's
weather?
just going to be one of those back and forth. It's going to be like 14-14 going into the fourth. It's just going to be a slugfest. And I just think the Bills have a little more firepower, a little more juice right now. And I think they take it 2017.
Yeah, I think they're going to be more able to stop Pacheco. Like Ed Oliver could be a force.
I just think they're going to be able to do more on offense.
That too.
I think they're going to be able to convert a few more they just have more weapons than the Chiefs. They also don't have Matt Nagy on the sideline. So I think just a few extra third downs, a few extra big plays. Josh Allen, not that Mahomes won't make them, but a few Superman plays from Josh Allen will put them ahead. And I think a 2017 victory is coming for Buffalo.
Fair enough.
I'm excited to watch this game, though. It's going to be fun.
Oh, definitely. Now, let's move on to the NFC, where we've got Stafford in his return to Detroit as our background for this one.
Dude, they almost won.
What a game.
Dude, Stafford is so much better than Jared Goff. I'm sorry to everyone in Detroit. You cannot watch that game and tell me that Jared Goff is better than Matthew Stafford.
I mean,
I know he won the game, but Stafford's under pressure with these sidearm I don't even know. I have not
did everything in his power to save the Rams from that game, and they just couldn't pull it off when it. Yeah, the difference was the red zone scoring. The Lions scored all 3 times they were in the red zone, I believe, either 2 or 3 times, and the Rams kick field goals every time.
Yeah, the Lions, honestly, they just have a better roster. Stafford had a few magician plays. The Rams are better coached, but I still think not by a ton.
Well,
and I just think the Lions roster propelled them.
Let's go back to.
No, do not tell me Sean McVay. What?
What? No. I'm saying let's go back to the Thursday night game when we were talking about the Lions-Packers game way back early in the season. We had that halftime show, and I said the reason the Lions are dominating right now is because that offensive line is completely in control. Penei Sewell, Frank Ragnow, I think Graham Glasgow is on that team. He might be on a different – I think he's on the Lions. They have a very strong front 5, and they completely controlled Aaron Donald. They completely controlled their entire rushing game, and I think they're going to do the same thing against the Buccaneers this week. I know the Bucs are, they stopped the tush push against the Eagles. They seemingly controlled the line of scrimmage in that game too. But I think when push comes to shove, the Lions' O-line is still going to have that advantage, and Dan Campbell's game plan and Ben Johnson's game plan is going to be based around that, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, looking at this game now, the most important things in a game are the coach and the quarterback. And the Lions win both those matchups. Dan Campbell and Ben Johnson are better than Todd Bowles. I mean, Jared Goff's better than Baker, even though Baker's on a heater right now. And yeah, like you said, the Lions O-line's going to dominate. I think Jared Goff's going to get a lot more possessions, a lot more times than Baker will. And I think the Lions are going to use that to their advantage. I think they're going to pound it on the Bucks. And yeah, I don't know what. I got to think of a score prediction now.
Well, before you get to your score,
You go first. What's your score?
The Buccaneers have been one of those teams this year that have really performed very well against some teams, but then they've been shut down by a couple teams. And one of those teams were the Detroit Lions. And
Did they play this year?
Yeah, the Lions won 20-6.
Ooh, I didn't know that.
Yeah, they won 20-6. It was middle of the season. The Buccaneers only put up 9 points against Carolina. They put up 13.
Okay, but they won 9-0. They didn't have to put up anything.
I'm aware they won 9-0, but
I don't care that much about that
they're
one.
still getting all those possessions. You're talking all this about getting more possessions than the other team.
Yeah, but
the
Baker's not
Buccaneers had the ball a lot of times that game. And there's gonna be.
We're not talking about a Week 17 Panthers game.
Why not? The Bucks needed to win that game to clinch the AFC.
And they won the game. They shut the Bucks out.
Yeah, but it was a hugely important game for them still. You can't act like it's just another Week 18 game against the worst team in the league. Like, they needed to win that game, and they only did it by just over one score. So I don't think you can take that game lightly. My point being, there will be a plethora of film on how to stop this Bucks offense. And even though they were rolling against the Eagles, I think the Lions have a real shot to shut them down again. And it coincides with the Baker Mayfield cycle, which is play well, play really well, silence the haters, media finally shuts up, then he plays like ass again, and the media comes back and says how he's bad again. Yep. And it's the constant Baker Mayfield cycle. Oh, that's going that way on the camera. More like this.
Yeah. I think
it fits into it. It's just the laws of nature and the way football works.
Yeah, also, I feel like Baker's going to have a couple turnovers this game. He should have thrown a couple picks against the Eagles. I think the Lions make those plays.
That's fair enough.
And I think when it comes – yeah. And I don't know. I just think in the end, I just think the Lions are better.
What's your score prediction?
I don't know. Is that a bad reason? I think the Lions win.
Me too.
30-23.
Woo! That's a little higher scoring than I think. I got 23-17.
Really? You think the Bucks put up 17? Baker he's a gunslinger. He's had so much confidence.
He has.
I think he's going to throw a couple picks, but he also just chucks it to Mike Evans every play. They're going to score more than 17 points.
But then again, Mike Evans had some horrible drops the other day. And I mean horrible.
I'm not going to rely on Mike Evans to drop. I'm not going to count on him dropping balls in the future.
I mean,
the Bucks will figure out their drops.
He's done that plenty of times. If the Lions you saw how good Stafford and Kyren Williams and Puka looked, and not even discussing Cooper Kupp. You saw how good they looked moving the ball down the field, and then were just shut down at the end every time they got to the red zone. And they only scored 23 points. I don't see the Bucks having enough firepower to get past to that mark even. I'm going to stick with them having only 17. And then let's go to the final NFC game. Yeah. A game we've seen quite some times in the playoffs.
They're usually good games.
The Packers and the 49ers. Packers shocked the world last week. Aaron Jones, barely even talked about with how good Love played. Aaron Jones, 118 yards on the ground. Jaden Reed, one of their stud young dudes, 0 catches. You know he's going to make an impact this game. And of course, Jordan Love looked like the second coming of Rodgers, and then
he did.
The third coming of Brett Favre.
Of course. Why wouldn't he? He's a Packers quarterback, and we're Bears fans. Of course he would.
So I don't know. What's your reaction off rip? You think this is something the Packers keep up?
Let's just say I don't think it's a traditional Niners-Packers game. I really want it to be, but it's not a 44-20 thumping like we used to see. I think this game stays close. I mean, Love has just been on fire. I don't think he plays well against the Cowboys as he did against the Niners, just because that's almost impossible. The Niners also don't shrink like the Cowboys do in every big spot. Anyways, I do think the Niners will win this game, but I think it's going to be very close. I mean, Love has played fantastic, and also the Packers, the receivers so interchangeable. They got like 6 dudes just in out, 2 good tight ends.
Mhm.
And the Niners are going to focus on one guy. Love is just going to scan the field, make his pick for one-on-one. They're not going to be focused on one guy shutting anything down because they just have so many young playmakers. One play over,
Yes.
they might hit something over top of Christian Watson. I mean, Love's just going to pick them apart, I think.
Yeah, you
And
know how
I
many
know that D-line's
catches-
good, but the Pack,
You know what Christian
What?
Watson's stat line was last game?
he had like 2 catches, right?
1 catch for 9 yards.
1 catch.
That's
Yeah.
all. That's all he did. He gets 1 catch for 9 yards. Jaden Reed gets 0 for 0, and you're like, how did the Packers score 48 points with 2 of their dudes doing nothing? Like it was a Dobbs game, it was an Aaron Jones game, but Jordan Love was absolutely in command. Now you look at the other side. How is Shanahan going to get his guys ready for this game with the bye week? I think this is one of those years that the bye has been so crucial because both of these teams are built on the Ravens are built on how can their defensive guys make plays and be like and draw up something on defense that you won't see coming. And then on the Niners side, it's how are they going to get the ball in creative ways to their weapons on offense. You know, C-Mac's got an extra week to get his calf back to full health. Ayuk's been insane this year. Debo, Kittle. I just think they overwhelm the Packers here, and the Packers defense won't be able to control the game as much as they did.
Yeah. Packers defense does suck. I just think
They
Jordan
don't
Love's going to play
suck.
really
They
well.
were
I think it's going to stay close.
nothing. Like I think
Okay,
that's
fine.
a little
Okay, they don't suck.
reckless
sorry.
of you to
But
say.
they've been throughout the year. That outside of playing the Bears and last week, they've been pretty bad all year. And they give 30 to the Panthers. That shouldn't happen.
Yeah,
I'm
but
just
there's
saying,
a lot of things.
as much talent as the Packers have on, we'll see. I mean, they also let Dak march up and down in garbage time, which I don't know if that's relevant or not, but hopefully the Niners can do that.
Well, here's the thing. Although both offenses are really good, I think about that Thanksgiving game we saw, Lions-Packers, and we both thought the Lions would win, and we bet on the Lions to win. And then we were quickly reminded that tradition takes the number 1 spot. And the tradition
It did happen with the Cowboys last week.
The tradition is that the Lions lose on Thanksgiving, and they will continue to lose on Thanksgiving. And you know what? The Packers always beat the Cowboys, and they always lose to the Niners in playoffs. In our lifetimes, you were born in what, 05, 04?
04.
04? I'm in 02. You know, they've played each other in the playoffs 4 times. 2012 to 13 divisional round, 49ers won. 2013 to 14 wild card, 49ers won. 2019 to 20 NFC championship, 49ers won. 2021 to 22 divisional, 49ers won the football game. And you know what? Give me a 5th time in a row. I got the Niners 28 to 25.
Really? I got the Niners also. I got them winning 31-27.
Fair enough. But
it's going to be close.
I think these defenses will step up, and I
Hopefully
think
the Niners does.
It's going to be one of those instant classics, I think. The Packers, I've got at 25. They'll probably have 17. They'll be down 28-17, score a touchdown, get the 2-point conversion to make a 3-point game. And I think the Niners chew out the last 4 minutes of the clock.
Fair, I can see that.
And
I think it's going to be a really exciting game.
Well, let's finish this show off with a quick This Week in Vegas. We've set our score predictions, but you're 13-14. I'm 15-12. This might be your last shot to get me. This might be your last chance. So you got to get both of your picks.
To be fair, though,
you're most confident in.
I was 3-0 on my bets last week. I bet on the Packers to cover, the Rams to cover, and the Bucks to cover, and they all covered.
Okay. Well, what's your most two?
That's
most
all I'm going to say. We didn't have an episode, but all right. This week I have the Texans +9 against the Ravens. I think the Ravens win, but I think this is a closer game than people think. I think people are not giving the Texans defense enough credit, and I think this game stays close in Baltimore. So Texans +9 is my first pick.
Let's just say I'm at Francesco's house, and he's on the other side of the room and gave a massive thumbs down to that. Come on in. Let's see what
That's okay.
Thanks. A massive thumbs down to that pick.
How we doing?
I'm only I'm only slightly below 500. Okay, you gotta take it somewhat.
I believe I went
Seriously.
2-1.
I know
was
what
on earlier. Maybe guest pickers were 7-2 this year.
I was absolutely.
Why are guest pickers so good?
I was killing it.
That's so
I was
unfair.
here. I don't know. I just think the Ravens are like the best team in the NFL right now, and
Yeah, they are.
Is
The
that
Texans are good.
would that be if you got to pick one of these 4 games? What line are you taking? We got
So I was scouting FanDuel earlier because Jules mentioned this, and I was between 2, but personally speaking, I think the lock of the week is Bills -2.5.
Woo.
I don't see
Wow,
the Chiefs
okay.
ever putting up a fight in this game. To
I
be
have the
honest,
Bills winning by 3 actually.
I have the Bills winning by 8. I think you know what?
Oh,
I'll make
hot
a
take.
Alternate spread.
Oh,
Bills -6.5.
he's confident.
Wow.
Bills
Okay.
-6.5 alt spread. 2.5 is
That's
way
bold.
too few points. And the
Fair
Bills
enough.
are going to win the Super Bowl. So
There
that's
we go.
That's my prediction. I said
That's
that
a bold
before the playoffs started. So, all
He did. This is true.
right. That's all I got to say.
Is
But
it?
that Texans pick is horrible, by the way.
Thanks. Appreciate
Well,
it.
You ain't catching Jules with that one.
Nuh-uh. And my first
All right.
pick is the Ravens side of the spread.
Yeah.
I have Ravens
Well,
minus.
I feel pretty good being against Jules. Okay. My final pick is, I hate doing this, but I hope I'm wrong just for my record. Packers +9.5.
Yeah, I've got that one too.
Dang it. I can't
I
come back.
agree. That's tough for you because now
Yeah.
you can only gain 1 on me then, and then you're gonna have to have. Ooh, that might be it.
That's okay. I feel like if we both
You might have to change your pick if you want a chance because you need to gain 2 games on me.
All right, fine. I will take the Bills -2.5.
Oh, and there it goes.
I had to do it. I need a pick. I don't want to bet. What's the other game? Wait, don't tell
The
me.
Lions
Oh,
game.
I don't like the Lions Bucks game. I have no idea what's gonna happen in that game.
I don't like that either.
6 is too iffy. Yeah, all right. Bills -2.5 is my last pick then.
Bills only -2.5 is a pretty generous line. That is a good point. But yeah, I don't think the Packers lose.
Playing
By
in
more.
it.
I don't think the Packers lose by 10 or more this game. It just doesn't feel like that type of game.
A garbage time touchdown in this game against the Packers would be so poetic now.
Yeah,
That'd be fantastic.
because you have to pull within 1 to try and tie me in the Super Bowl. We'll have a Super Bowl episode, don't y'all worry. And then sorry, I just got shown a FanDuel bet placed on the spot.
What was it? Was it Bills -2.5? Bills -6.5?
Fran, was it alternate?
Ravens -9?
-6.5.
That's funny.
All right. Well, you'll have to pull within 1 of me to have a shot to tie with the Super Bowl. But other than that, it looks like I might have taken season 2 Vegas. We'll just have to wait and see till after this week, I guess.
We'll see.
But thank you all for watching. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode. Appreciate y'all for tuning in, and we'll see you before the Super Bowl.
Yep.